That's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback.
Wide open, complete. They give him 7.
Down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. But he's got it.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on second down, Huber. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on third and long. Huber lets it fly for Thielen. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready. For this one, take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Winston, the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their own 27.
Let's go. Great.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and try to figure out which play to run, and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. First and 15. Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Come on now, oh, come on now. Let's go. Hey. There we go, back. 180!
Wins to throw on second down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Working from the gun, Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Fielded at the 20. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. From the gun, Huber, and his throw is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Huber. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Now Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huber, throw left side on target to Thielen. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a 1st quarter lead. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 61 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. This is Ajayi. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They run with Ajayi. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott Good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st and 10, Huber eluding the pressure right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And that play was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
A give. This is Cook. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing on first down. Huber. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. And this is caught. That goes for a gain of 31.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Huber. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play-action pass, you see the end result, usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with a Ajayi. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wentz on the bootleg. Rolling to his left. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Here's Ajayi. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing is Wentz. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Wentz. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Wentz to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone. It
always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now a play fake here on first down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw. Huber. Over the middle, complete. That's Green. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90. Blue.
Operating from the gun, Huber. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And down inside the 15 he goes. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot!
On 1st down, Huber. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 2nd down, Cook. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Here we go. 319.
From the gun, Huber. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Derek Barnett. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On first down, Wentz drops it off to Ajayi. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Go, go. Lion, lion, lion.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Being chased out left. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Now, I know it's only a loss of a couple of yards, but when you get near the sidelines, just flip the ball out of bounds, incomplete, and save the yardage. Save the yards, not your stats.
The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Wentz now on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Shotgun now for Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. To throw is Wentz. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Wentz now to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Wentz going to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And out now come the Vikings. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Back to throw. Huber. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for John. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Philly. 57 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. From the red zone now, Wentz fighting him off. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 10 more there and another 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They run it again with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun. Huber throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Play action. Huber. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, Huber. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Huber. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right, where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10.
Lose 5-7. Lose 5-7.
they'll run it here. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. I got 11. This spot 7. 81, 81.
Now Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Well, he's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10.
For Tokyo.
Right back to him on first down. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Yeah, baby. Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Now Wentz. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Anthony Barr in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Wentz. Oh, it floated on him, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. There he goes right side. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or 2, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
Throwing on first down. Huber, this is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw on 2nd down. Huber. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Throwing on 3rd and long. Huber. He's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
Watch it now, Barney.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bailey now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Here we go now. 3-19.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. And this is incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
What's your son? Grade 15, grade 15. What's your son?
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
On the carry, it's Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you if you're taking charge?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Then on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Wow, that one took some guts. If this doesn't work, you're handing them incredible field position, but this head coach is undaunted, and he makes the call to go for it, and I'll be darned if they don't get the first down.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota,